Today we're driving the 2025 Toyota 4Runner Platinum. And we also have a bit of a YouTubeception moment here. Kirk Kreifels.
Hey!
From the Kirk Kreifels YouTube channel.
Wow. It's a bit surreal to be on the TheTopher channel.
I know, it's kind of fun.
What a blessing.
We've known each other for a while, but we haven't collabed.
Yeah.
And we're going to review this 4Runner together.
Yeah, kind of from like a dad's perspective.
I know.
Yeah.
This is a completely new trim for the 2025 6th Gen 4Runner.
Yes.
We have a unique interior. I believe the exterior color is
Underground's
on its own.
new.
It's new, okay, but not exclusive to the Platinum?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, you can get this on like a Corolla.
All right.
It's not that
Sweet.
special
Okay.
color. Yeah.
We have the iForce Max powertrain, 326 horsepower, 465 pound-feet of torque.
True.
This has full-time four-wheel drive.
Yeah, so this model, or this trim, Platinum, and Limited, are the only ones that are full-time 4x4. Then, like, the Land Cruiser also is.
Yep, that's right.
As well as the GX.
Yep.
So this is the most similar powertrain-wise to the Land Cruiser, because the Land Cruiser is hybrid only in America.
Yeah.
The GX has a hybrid in other markets. That's the same situation as this. It's just not available yet in America.
And this is about 65 grand, 66 grand maybe with destination.
Yeah, somewhere around there after
Yeah.
destination.
Okay.
And the options, there's some options here on this.
We have some interesting designations here for our four-wheel drive system.
Yes,
so there's high 4 full-time four-wheel drive, which is what you're probably going to be in 99% of the time.
Yeah.
High 4 locked. It's H4L. High 4 locked because it's a locked 50-50 front and rear torque split. Normally you'd have a center locking diff button, but it's just automatically done.
Yes.
And then low 4 locked. So it took us a minute to kind of figure out what that was, but that's what those mean.
You figured it out.
Yeah.
I would still be trying to figure it out.
It's okay. We get some blank switches here on the top trim, which is exciting. Drive modes. What do we have here? Sport.
Well, this is
Sport
check
Plus,
this out.
Custom, Normal, Comfort, Eco.
So
what can you change with custom?
I was in TRD Off-Road Premium, and it did not have all those options because this model, and I believe the Limited, I might have to fact check myself, I believe the Limited as well has adaptive variable suspension.
That's right.
And so the ride quality here should be noticeably different.
Sport, Normal, Comfort, 3 settings for ride quality. Okay, so we need to play around with that a little bit. And then, of course, powertrain, responsiveness, all that stuff. Normal, Eco, air conditioning, Eco. Cool. Still got all the same cameras and stuff here.
Yeah, I will say that the cameras are a little bit different on the TRD Pro and the Trail Hunter. They're more of like the trail cam that gives you more wide angles. It'll let you look at the side of the vehicle a little bit more.
Yep. Heated ventilated seats, heated steering wheel. We've got a few aux ports right here where you can connect stuff to lighting, accessories.
I believe the running boards that pop out are standard on this as well.
Okay, yeah, this and the Limited have the powered running boards. I mean, this is the luxury 4Runner, right?
Yeah, this is the Limited. You know, they have 3 new trims. It's this one, it's like TRD Sport Premium.
Yep.
And the Trail Hunter's new. I just feel like this is just a different flavor of Limited.
Sure.
So I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Maybe we'll drive it and I'll love it. What do you think about the air dam at the bottom?
I mean, that's got to be removable, but it's probably there for fuel economy. I think the Limited has that too. We saw that on the Tacoma too.
Tacoma has it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks okay. It's got, what are these, 20-inch wheels?
Yeah, so there are 3 trim levels that have 20s. The TRD Sport, the Limited, and this one.
Okay.
Now, these black glossy wheels are exclusive to this Platinum. It's the first time I've seen this Platinum badging here. It's kind of like a shiny black.
Yeah. Blacked
out mirrors, blacked out door handles.
This navy interior is really sharp. Nice leather.
You like it?
Yeah, it's soft. It looks good.
It is soft.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, because it accents black, it's kind of like this, I don't know, it's like, I like gold and blue, but it's accented with black, so I'm just trying to figure out if I like it or not. Now these taillights are also blacked out. I think I think that's unique here. As well as this black bezel. So you saw, on the front of the vehicle, you saw a black bezel.
Yep.
And also the rear here, you see this glossy blackness that, it's similar finish to what we see on the wheel arches on like the TRD Pro.
Toyota does that on the Highlander too. They're higher trims, they're Limited, it's painted down there, or at least gloss.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we look in the back?
Yeah.
Well,
I-Force Max.
So less cargo space here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, about maybe 4 or 5 inches of
Look at this.
extra height with the battery pack.
It's chunky. Is
Yeah,
this
it is.
lift?
Yep.
Oh, some storage there, not much.
Yep. No third row availability because of that battery pack.
Right, no third row if you want the hybrid. In fact, the third row is only on the SR5 and I think the Limited.
Okay.
Non-hybrids, right? Which
Yep.
the SR5 cannot be had in the hybrid even if you wanted it.
And I sat in the third row of the one SR5 that's here. It's tight. It's really cramped. There's only about this much room behind the seat. It's like the old GX.
The old GX, which you used to have, right? The 460.
Yep.
I will say I had okay leg room. Oh yeah, it's still gonna have to turn off. I have okay leg room in the third row, despite being 6 foot plus. I had no headroom.
Yeah, no
My
headroom.
head was
Yep.
like, I had, you know, the whole sideways neck thing.
One nice thing, because this is I-Force Max, you get a 120 volt, 2400 watt outlet in the back, so you can power your house, half your house. Yeah, the blacked out taillights are different.
This is, I think that's unique. No, okay, I thought this was glossy because remember we had that glossy platinum badge on the side.
That's right. Yeah.
It's not glossy here, just the bumper in this piece. Now I
do
thought that
this
was a
with-
window, but I think it just unlocks and locks.
Oh,
the hatch.
that makes sense.
I wish it was the window.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
How
it's-
cool would that be?
All 4Runners have the roll down rear glass now, which is great.
Yes. Spare tire underneath, of course. Tow hitch, so all 4Runners, regardless of trim and powertrain, I believe they all tow 6,000 pounds.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, we also blacked out window surrounds.
Okay.
I think that's more of a, I don't know if it's exclusive to this trim, it's just a part of this trim. So, they match wheel arches as well. Oh, and this is the fancier headlights that you see on the upper end models like the GR
Oh, yeah.
Pro, the Limited, I think has these. Let me turn on the turn-in indicator. That's where they get a little bit fancier.
4Runner right there. Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, nice looking DRLs.
Yeah, that's sharp.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Well, I'm sure some people will want this. Let's go drive it. See if it drives any differently from the TRD off-road and the SR5s that we've tested already.
Let's drive it.
I have not listened to the JBL yet.
I have listened to the JBL.
Is it decent?
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You know, hold on, let me get this on.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think ultimately the big selling points here are going to be full-time four-wheel drive, some of the extra luxuries and amenities, but ultimately this is still a lot of money for a 4Runner. You're paying,
It's a lot of money for a 4Runner.
Yeah, you're paying about the same as you would TRD Pro and Trailhunter here.
I mean, this is Lexus GX money.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's just a lot of overlap. You have 3 body-on-frame vehicles, or SUVs specifically, on the same platform that have the same functionality between the Toyota and Lexus brands. And there's a lot of overlap with features and price point.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Is it too much redundancy? Does it make sense? I mean, what's Toyota's thinking behind that?
I wish I knew, to be honest. You know, I've been giving Toyota a lot of questions lately with the introduction of the Crown lineup, because that's very Lexus-like.
Yep.
And so we just have a lot of overlap, and I know choice is a good thing, but at what point is there like too much choice? There's a diminishment of like returns sort of thing going on. I don't know.
I feel like Toyota always tries to fill every single possible size and niche and powertrain option and price point. But it's almost like you have 3 of the same vehicle essentially with some minor differences. It almost renders the Land Cruiser as a bit of a head scratcher in the US market.
It's squished.
It's squished in between this and the GX, and I don't know where it really sits with the buyer.
It sits with,
other than it came out first.
Yeah,
you know?
It came out first, and there are going to be people out there that will pay a premium just for the Land Cruiser badge.
Sure, that's true.
I think the GX, I would pick the GX over the Land Cruiser. I like the twin turbo V6.
I do too. It's a great powertrain.
Right. You get twin turbo V6 GX for this 4Runner money.
And this has, does it have more features than the GX would at the same base price point?
I think it would be close.
Okay.
But, you know, I think the leather would be a little bit nicer. What I have noticed, I'll say this, I have been very impressed with these prototypes' build quality.
Me too. That's the big takeaway from today, is that these 4Runners feel so tight. There's no shakes, no rattles.
No rattles, no creaks. They're quiet.
Yeah.
Quieter than a GX sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's I feel like because of the nature of the glass is raked so much compared to the Land Cruiser and the GX, and we have sleek mirrors here, it's just a quieter highway experience.
Yep.
And there's something about the GX, and I haven't driven a lot of them with the redesign, that it doesn't feel at all the same vehicle as the old GX which you used to own, the 460.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, it's a very different feeling. I mean, the new TNGAF platform, it's bigger, it's a little bit stiffer with the welds and everything. It's interesting to compare before and after. I mean, so much more torque than the old 4.6 liter V8 on the GX, and way more torque than the old 4 liter V6.
Yeah, yep. Doesn't sound as good as those engines, I would say.
No.
Especially the V8. The V8 sounded so good.
Let's see, we're in custom mode right now. Let's go into Sport Plus, see what happens. Suspension should stiffen up, steering gets a little bit heavier.
And we're behind a Kia Forte.
That's right. There is good power from this iForce Max powertrain. I mean, there's just so much torque on demand.
Mm-hmm. I think if you are a 4Runner owner or enthusiast, you're going to appreciate the extra torque and power. There's no doubt. Now,
there's also more weight, and some of that is offset by just the extra, you know.
And that's why I tend to enjoy the non-hybrid a little bit more.
I do too.
I'm not saying I enjoy it more. I'm just saying it's like you save money for not buying it. You get the same fuel economy. It's lighter. It's going to be less complex. So in theory, it'd be more reliable. So it's just
more cargo space in the back.
More cargo.
Third row, yeah.
That's exactly right. So there's just more practical reasons to get the non-hybrid.
I wish they did a TRD Pro and Trailhunter non-hybrid. I think that would probably be the ticket, because you save a little bit of money, save a little weight. You could have more payload capacity.
$65,000 though.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of expensive stuff on the new off-road stuff on the off-road 4Runners.
No manual like the Tacoma, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because that manual. Have you driven the manual Tacoma?
I have. Yeah, it feels really old school for a car in 2024. It's fun.
I'm glad someone likes it. There's so much revving in it.
Oh yeah.
That I can't enjoy it.
And the red line is something like 5,000 RPM. It's super low for some reason.
It's very trucky. You know, I don't want to. They're talking about the last generation Tacoma. That generation was better with the manual because the auto was so bad. Now it's the reverse.
That's right.
The auto is so much better of a powertrain than the manual.
Have there been some issues with the 8-speed auto on Tacomas?
Probably. I mean, they're early production. Now I know that transmission in theory is a little bit older. Aishin 8-speed auto, I don't think it's that new of a transmission, but I mean, this new F platform is still teething, right? We know about the twin turbo V6 recalls. We know about other recalls with the Tundra, and even some issues with the Tacoma.
I do feel like just driving this, it feels like a much better developed platform than the Tacoma. Like, it just feels tighter. Better built.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, it feels solid.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, I have noticed that I do like the ride quality of the 18-inch wheel models better.
Yep.
I was in a TRD Sport and I forgot it had 20s on it, and I'm like, man, it's kind of a little bit rougher in here than the 18-inch model I was just in, but I didn't realize I was on bigger wheels. So if we went that way, I think we'd be in Mexico.
That's right.
Border Patrol.
Yeah. This is also in sport mode right now, so we are in the stiffest suspension setting, or Sport Plus So we'll see how this handles. We'll let this Kia get ahead of us a little bit. See if we can create a gap.
It sounded pretty decent.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
there.
it's just a wave of torque. Handling feels pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, is it that different from the SR5 that I drove earlier? Not really.
Not really, but
it's still a 4Runner.
It's still a 4Runner, but it's, you know, the tires are working harder here because it's heavier.
Yep, that's right. That's a good point. What about, let's go full comfort mode.
Oh yeah, that's where I'd be at all the time. How's the transmission and comfort? Still
It seems to be,
responsive?
yeah, a little
About
bit
the same?
lazier, but
Okay.
about the same. Sport mode really kind of ramps up the throttle
It's
response.
very aggressive, yeah.
Yep. I like the steering in this new 4Runner.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's light at low speeds.
So
and
light.
It weights up nicely, and there's a little bit of feel, a little bit of
Okay.
feedback.
You know, I'm so old school. I love the feeling of the old hydraulic steering. So I wish I still had that feeling on the new 4Runner, but I'm glad that you like the new steering.
Yeah, I think maybe you get a little bit more feedback on these 20-inch wheels too. But let's see here. Yeah, it feels good. I mean, yeah, I will miss the old hydraulic rack.
Yeah. The heft
A
of
lot
it.
more body roll here with this adaptive variable suspension. And again, like you said, more weight.
More weight, yeah. But did you put it? We're still in comfort. That's
We're
why.
still in comfort. Let's
Yeah.
go Sport Plus. Yeah, you can immediately notice
Yeah,
it's a
you
little
can-
bit stiffer. There go our backpacks.
Yeah, there's the bags flying around.
I mean, it handles well. I think there's less body roll with this new 4Runner
Yeah.
than the GX and the Land Cruiser.
Yeah. And keep in mind, 99% of people are not going to be pushing the 4Runner as hard as you are right now.
Sure.
I don't push it this hard because I get myself car sick. So
Yeah, I'm a bad passenger, so if you need me to slow down a little, let me know.
thankfully the Honda Odyssey is going to save me.
Good. Yeah, I mean this drives well. It's got a lot of neat features. The interior is a little bit different, but I don't know if it's ultimately worth 65 grand
Yeah.
to have. You know, it seems like it's more of a badge effort than anything.
Yeah, the Platinum, it's a bit lost on me.
Yeah.
I think they would have been fine with the Limited.
Yep.
And maybe like, I understand some people like to have the blacked out badges and stuff, then Toyota just come out with like a Nightshade or whatever you call
Sure,
the
that's right.
special editions, you know, those limited runs.
Yep.
Just do that, you know, I think that would be enough.
I don't know. This Honda Odyssey is kind of getting it.
They're actually getting after
Yeah.
it.
I really liked the base SR5 four-wheel drive. I thought that was a great driving 4Runner, and for
Yeah.
41 grand, it's
Yeah,
good
I
value.
loved it. I loved it.
You know, you're seeing diminishing returns with these higher trims, unless if you're really going to be utilizing the off-road trims like the TRD Pro and the Trailhunter.
Very specialty vehicles.
Yep.
The volume percentage of them is going to be like less than 5%.
Sure. Yep. Even though they're going to get a lot of press.
They'll get a lot of press.
Yep.
The SR5 is going to be like 60% of the volume shake, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, even the 8-inch infotainment screen is fine.
I like the 8-inch.
It's great.
This is just so big.
There's so much going on. Yeah.
So much going on.
It's great for cameras, and it's great to have.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
If you want the 360 camera, it makes sense for that. But
yeah.
and I even like the base screen over this one because it's easier to work with.
Yep. It's responsive. I mean, I love that they haven't screenified everything. There's still lots of physical controls and buttons.
Oh yeah, this is perfect.
I mean, this is basically the same
Trifecta.
interior that we get in the Tacoma
100%.
and the Tundra and the Sequoia, right?
They're all very similar.
Yeah.
Yep. What do you think about having that turbo sound?
I kind of like it.
I like it too.
Yeah, it sounds good. It's throaty, but not too gruff and loud.
Yeah.
All right, so here's where things get a little bit bumpy. We're in normal mode. We'll leave it here, and we'll see how this feels. It feels to me like there's just a little bit more sophistication with these dampers over the standard suspension.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
No,
kind of
for sure.
steamroll over everything a bit easier.
Yeah. It's a much softer ride, even in normal, than the SR5's base suspension.
Really good NVH over bumps too, even on these 20s. Like this is a quiet cabin. Honestly, I'd be kind of hard pressed to choose between this and a GX. How you doing?
I'm struggling.
Okay. All right, we'll take our shortcut. Or that actually, after this, it straightens out.
Straightens out. Okay.
Cool. So, final thoughts. We've driven just about everything today.
I mean, I have not. What have I? I've not driven the Limited, but it would be just like this.
Yep.
Same wheel size, same suspension, same powertrain.
Really like the SR5. I was surprised at how much I like the TRD Pro. The suspension feels great.
My gosh, off-road, it's just a peach, man.
Yeah, it's super fun.
So smooth. Yeah, I like the Trail Hunter. Okay, what would you pick if you had 70K to burn on one of these things? Are you picking this, because it's up there? Are you picking this, Trail Hunter, or TRD Pro?
I think I would go TRD Pro. Whereas with the Tacoma, I do Trail Hunter.
Okay. I think I'd do Trail Hunter on both of them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I like the bronze wheels. I like the snorkel.
I like the fact that the TRD Pro has just good high-speed suspension, which a 4Runner's never really had before.
Nope.
It doesn't have the isodynamic seats, so you still get rear leg room. That was a good choice. I mean, the seats make a difference. I drove TRD Pro, Tacoma, and 4Runner back-to-back.
Yep.
They make a difference. They smooth things out, but they make a lot of noise. There's a ton of rattling from them, and you just can't fit in the back seat.
Nope.
So, pros and cons. But overall, I'm really impressed with the new 4Runner. It drives great.
It does drive. I knew it was going to drive really nicely because the F-platform Tacoma that's out now, it just rides and drives so much better than old Tacoma.
Yep.
Same technology.
Let's hop out here, give you a little break.
Yeah, I need a breather. I'm sweating.
And we'll walk you guys around this one more time. I'm really curious to see what real world fuel economy will be like too, because this is rated for, well, the iForce Max is rated for like 24 highway, 23 city or something, and then the regular iForce is like 25 highway, 19 city. So it's pretty impressive fuel economy numbers. I mean, those are lofty ratings.
They are. I think. I mean, in the brief driving I've done today, I've seen 18, 19, and 20 miles per gallon.
Yep.
And that doesn't matter which powertrain I'm driving. So they're all within the same ecosystem, I guess you could say, of efficiency.
And it's always hard to say too, because I mean, at the end of the day, physics comes into play, and you're going to probably get about the same fuel economy in this as you would in the old 4Runner, but maybe if you're doing a long road trip, you'll get slightly better. I don't know. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say.
If you're getting into boost a lot, it's going to suck fuel down like crazy.
I think the hybrid's going to do better in town if you're doing a lot of in-town driving. You can use the regen.
Yep.
Engine will shut off between start-stops, or if you're at a red light, the engine will turn off. And the driving I did with the fuel economy test I did with the Land Cruiser, I was seeing like 22, 23 miles per gallon.
That's pretty good. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but that's flat Florida.
Sure. Yep.
So that's almost best case scenario. So best case, it's going to be similar here too.
Yep.
It might be better on the highway because the windshield is more like a car than a box.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, I mean, this is a good looking trim.
Yeah.
Yep. You're right though. It looks just like, what was it, the Nightshade package or something?
Yeah, I think looking at it, it's not screaming 65K to me.
Yeah, no, I would agree. It would be nice to get like they used to have. Didn't they have air suspension in the rear for towing and some other stuff?
GXs did.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know much about the older the old 4Runners if they had the air suspension in the rear.
They had rear air suspension like the GX.
This is something we can talk about since you had an old GX. There's no KDSS or EKDSS on this model. And technically maybe you don't need it with all the fancy stuff they do the suspension with the old man Emu on the Trail Hunter and the Fox shocks, but only way you can get the new KDSS in America is on the trail. So what is it? The
Overtrail GX.
Overtrail GX.
Yeah.
Which is only 2 rows of seats.
I miss KDSS because the old 4Runner Limited, I think, had KDSS. It was basically a GX. A KDSS rear air
engine.
suspension, yeah.
Yep.
I miss that because it made the cars handle so well. This, I think, is the best handling TNGAF product that I've had so far, just because it's not as soft, it's not as roly-poly around corners. Like, even the GX has tons of body roll. This seems to be a little bit more buttoned down.
Yeah, this feels more planted than
Yep.
the GX, the Land Cruiser.
But at the end of the day, that's not what any of these SUVs are for.
No, you're a driving enthusiast.
Yeah.
Most people buying 4Runners are mall crawlers or off-roading enthusiasts.
Yep.
And I think people are going to be happy with it, especially the volume trims like the SR5 and the TRD Sports, the TRD Off-Road.
I think that for the enthusiast, the TRD Off-Road is kind of the perfect spot. It's got all your off-road bits.
It's going to do
good suspension, good locking rear diff.
Yeah,
that's a great package.
The only thing it doesn't have the sway bar disconnect.
Yeah,
which I think is only on like maybe Trail Hunter and TRD Pro.
Yep, that's right. Yep. But is it worth like another 10 grand for that? I don't know. I mean, with some of the suspension upgrades, it could be, but also I feel like a lot of people are just going to swap out the suspension on their 4Runners anyway to get more lift, to get 33s or 35s on there.
Put huge tires on there.
Yeah, might as well save a little bit of money. It's crazy that the TRD Off-Road comes in at what the TRD Pro used to.
Yeah, the prices have gone through the roof.
Yeah, they really have.
What a beautiful landscape.
Oh, this is great.
Holy smokes.
Great place to end the video.
It is.
Cool.
All right.
The colors finally come back to your face.
Yeah, I feel better. The fresh air, believe it or not, can go a long ways. But yeah, thanks for teaming up.
That was fun.
And yeah, I'm never gonna push a 4Runner that hard. So I'm glad I got to experience it without throwing up with Chris today. So
yeah, good.
Cool, man. Peace.
Go check out Kurt's channel at Kurt Kreifels. You've probably seen his videos. I've been following you forever. I remember when you had like 1,900 subscribers or something back in the day. Yeah.
Why would you even watch me then?
I don't know. You were still working at the dealership.
I was at the dealership.
Yeah.
I remember being at the dealership and I'd be like, this TOPher guys, he's making it work. I can do this. So yeah, you started off just a little, like, all it takes is maybe 6 months to be ahead, and then it gives you enough motivation to go chase it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's fun, man. I'm glad you're doing it.
It's fun. Can I drive back?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. I'll get some passenger POV impressions. I do wish they included a grab handle for the driver.
I know.
They used to on the old GX.
They got one there.
Kind of half one here, yeah.
Halvesy.
I don't understand the inconsistencies between that. Maybe it's collision, crash test stuff, I don't know.
Saving a penny.
Yeah, maybe so, who knows.
Yeah, the torque here, man.
It's a difference, yeah.
Because the last one I drove before this was the TRD Off-Road with just a standard engine. The engine has to work a lot more, man.
It does, yep. Yeah, I mean, this pulls.
Yeah, that's about 2/3 throttle.
Yep. And it feels understressed.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you can look at the performance as a value add for the iForce Max, or you can look at just the refinement of it as a powertrain, as a value add. I mean, you're getting a more expensive feeling driving
feels more
experience.
premium.
Yeah.
And that's what I say a lot about hybrids, like Lexus hybrids. It's like, okay, the engine doesn't have to work as hard, so it's a smoother experience. It's a quieter experience. Fortunately, we don't get that like fuel economy boost here that Toyota hybrids are known for. But
that's kind of how it is with all the iForce Maxes, though. Or
the truck hybrids are compromised in that regard. But
even the Grand Highlander, is that iForce Max 2 or is that Hybrid Max? That's Hybrid Max.
That's Hybrid Max, so it's still front wheel drive based.
Yep.
But they don't have mechanical linkage to the rear. It's an e-axle back there on the rear wheels.
But even that feels more refined and it has better power.
Those are good. Yeah, I like that. And you're still, if you're milking it, you can get close to 30 miles per gallon.
That's right.
On those.
Yep.